All right, what's on the bench? It's a lovely item here. Can you read that? Is a Channel Master model 7008. It's a high Q trap, low band FM. So it covers the FM band, 88 megahertz to 108 megahertz in the FM band. And it's a trap, which means it'll remove signals. And it's a high Q, so it'll be able to remove one FM channel at a time if you want to do so. Now, why would you want such a thing? Well, let's first take a look at it. It's got these lovely geared down knobs in the front. So these are expensive knobs, right? Really, really nice knobs. And it has on the side, it has regular TV antenna 75 ohm connectors on it. So, you know, in and out, out and in, it doesn't matter which way you go. It's a filter. So if you had television back in the day, broadcast television, you have an antenna up on your roof, and if you were unfortunate enough to have a big FM station next to you, it could interfere with your signal. You wouldn't be able to watch, you know, cartoons because the stupid FM station got in the way. And you would buy one of these and tweak it so that you remove that awful station that interfered with your TV set. And that's what these were. That's what these were sold for. So I've taken the back off of it, and these are solid copper boxes. So yeah, there you go, solid copper box. So inside we have a capacitor, and if I turn the knob here, you can watch it rotate. So 20 picofarad, 20 picofarad. So two capacitors, and then we have two inductors. These inductors are kind of standoffy. All right. And we got some red and blue wire. So how would such a thing work? It's got one cavity here, one cavity here. It's got a divider so that they don't talk to one another. So there's a trap here and a trap here. So it's a double trap, which gives you the high Q. And let's briefly talk about traps. All right, so one way to do a trap is to have a piece of coax, okay? And if you put a T and you put another piece of coax here, and this is a quarter wavelength, this will act as a trap. You'll get a resonance here, and it will cause a standing wave cancellation, and you'll if this is a amplitude versus frequency, you'll get a dip, right? That's a trap. So this is resonant at a particular frequency. Well, you can make other things resonant. You can create a trap that looks something like this, okay? And this L and the C will be resonant at one frequency, and it will cause the radio waves to be wanting to go to ground. It'll kill them. So if this is your transmission line, this would be a trap. So in our particular thing, we actually have two of these things. Okay. And the capacitors are adjustable. And so that's what we have. We have a transmission line, and then we have a trap and another trap. And you adjust these things so that this one resonates exactly where this one resonates. So this one kills it, and then it goes along. This one kills it again. So they act together to make it a higher Q. All right. So again, inside we can see the capacitors. That's these two variable capacitors, and these big inductors, which are these two guys. Now, how do you make this work a different way? So the way that I have it drawn here is I have these as electrical connections to these two traps, and that's not the way this one works, okay? The way this one works is these traps are independent, okay? I'll just draw them again here. They're independent. So we've got these two traps. Adjustable, all right? And they just sit there. All right, and then the transmission line comes in. Okay, it's a coax, and so the coax comes in, and it comes over to this coil, and it does one loop. And then it goes over this coil, and it does one loop. And then it goes over here, and it goes, oh, I'm going to come back. I'm going to do another loop. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to do another loop, and then I'm going to go out. Okay? So it comes in, it gets inductively coupled, one loop to multiple loops. So it sees this trap, and this trap will then grab some of that RF energy and will bring it to ground. Comes over here, does another one, comes up, and then it goes back and it does two more times. So actually it's a 4-pass filter. It sees these two traps twice. So it sees that one twice, sees that one twice. You get 4, and that's why it's super high Q. And these little mutual inductance here, right? The way that they do that is, let's see here. So let's say that blue wire is the input. The blue wire comes here, it makes 1/2 loop over this one. It goes over, it makes 1/2 loop over this one. And then they tie together. Now it's a red wire coming back. The red wire makes 1/2 loop, comes over here, makes 1/2 loop. So you get 1/2 loop coming in, 1/2 loop going in, 1/2 loop going out, 1/2 loop going out. And so you're inductively coupled these things. Now there's a couple other funny things going on. At the very end of this excursion over here, with this, one of these is a red wire, one of these is a blue wire, right? Right here at the very end where they're soldered together, there's actually a little capacitor to ground, a little 5 picofarad here. Remember, these are 20s. And then at the very input, there's also little capacitors to ground. Not sure why, but these are 30s. And don't know why. But anyway, they're there. And I'm not sure what that one's doing. So anyway, they come in, they go out, they make this 4-pass thing. Yeah, it's a pretty amazing filter. But does it work? Well, let's give it a try. All right, I have some wires here, cables coming into the input and output. I'm going to be all right, I've got some wires hooked up to the filter. I'm going to be bringing them into my spectrum analyzer. We'll be setting up a start frequency of 88 megahertz, stop frequency of 108 megahertz. That's the FM band. I'm going to turn my tracking generator on. All right, so here we go. I'm turning one of the knobs, and we see that we've got a notch here, right? Let's turn the other knob. Let's see if we can't see anything else. Oh, we get a second. We get a second one. So here's one trap and here's the other trap. And if I put them on top of one another, we get the high Q. So that's how this thing works. One trap, two traps, and you put them together and they work synergistically to give you, gosh, 45, almost 45 dB of rejection. So that's pretty cool. Okay, let's do a real world test here. So I've got the filter, and I have, can you see it on camera here? I've got a whip antenna. Here's the whip. So whip antenna is going up, and then we're going to go into spectrum analyzer. And let me move you guys over. All right, let's set up the spectrum analyzer. We'll do frequency, we'll do a start at 88 megahertz. We'll do a stop at 108 megahertz. That's the FM band. And already we see there's a really big spike there. So what we're going to do is we're going to do amplitude. We're going to turn off the attenuator. Let's see here, go to 0. Oh, there we go. Now we're starting to see some FM stations here in the Bay Area. We'll turn on the preamp, make it even bigger. Sure, why not? But let's change the resolution here, bandwidth, auto. Let's go go down. That's too, where did it go? Maybe 10 kilohertz. And we see that we've got some things going on here. Let's see if we can't twiddle the filter here. Try to get rid of, maybe try to get rid of that peak right there. Let's do a peak on that. Marker. Oops. Things going a bit fast here. Let's do bandwidth. Let's slow it down even farther. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Our marker's kind of going up and down because we're FMing. But we're right around 92 megahertz, okay? So let's see if we can't turn a knob and find that particular frequency. Might be high on the dial over here. Oh, wait a minute. I see something there. You see that? Okay, so now we're kind of lined up on that. Let's turn the other dial and see if we see anything funny happening. Okay, what number is that? That's around up this away. The number should match somewhat close. Okay, now we're seeing another one. See another one come in here? When I'm turning it, you can start to see it starting to go in. And I think we're going to get close to that frequency there. We've gone past it. Somewhere around in here. Now I'm going to turn the other one. Up. I'm starting to attenuate it. Let me turn the other one. It's going to be somewhat touchy because they kind of interact with each other just a little bit. Up. There we go. Oop. So if you adjust things correctly, you can start to get rid of things. Let me do that better on camera again. All right, so we got the knobs here, and you can watch me turn them, and you can see this as I turn the knob, this thing kind of zooms across. Kind of interesting. I don't think that's the entire story. Might be other things going on, but that was certainly one of the stories. You start to see. Yep, start to see this dip. Let's see if we can't get rid of that spike right there. We're right about on it there. Let's turn this one. Oh, that one has to come over now. Oh, we're getting close. Yeah, see, we're starting to notch. Oop. Oh, there we go. And we've completely killed that one. So yeah, this thing does work. It's interesting. All right, I've zoomed in a little bit here. You can see we kind of have a dip here. Let's see if we can get rid of that one again. And we'll bring our dip. I've zoomed in so it's going to be a little easier to see. I'm going from 90 to 100. Now I can turn this one. And it's kind of going to be somewhere in there. I'm going to turn this one. Turn this one. Oh, there you go. We're getting very, very close. So it is pretty touchy. It's nice that they have the gear reduction on these capacitors because it is very, very touchy. It says it's high Q, and it's definitely high Q. It'll get rid of just, there we go. It'll get rid of just one station. It might be, it's hard to get it exact. Oh, I'm going to let go. Yeah, see, even putting my hand near it. See that? So, yeah, it's going to be tricky. All right, well, there you go. It's kind of a fun toy. Solid copper, like I said. I'll have to put the lid back on it, but I don't know if you can read that. It says, made by Channel Master in Taiwan, Republic of China. So Taiwanese. Had metric screws in it too. Which kind of was a giveaway when I took it apart. Some people will say, hey, you measured a 75 ohm thing with a 50 ohm system. Yeah, don't worry about it. SWR of 1.5 is not going to kill anybody. And it's just a relative dip. It's not absolute measurements. I'm looking just for a dip. So that's not going to enter into the calculation here. Yeah, anyway, kind of a fun toy. I bought it on eBay for 30 bucks, so I don't know. I thought it'd just be good for the channel. And it's Channel Master. It's a model 7008. Yeah, pretty cool.